How do you know which wax to use? Well, while there are many waxes to choose from, knowing the type of finished product you want to make is the simplest place to start. There are two main types of waxes, container wax and pillar wax. Container wax is made for use in jars, tumblers, tin, glass, and other vessels. It's designed to adhere to a container as it cools and may be softer in consistency. While paraffin and soy are the most common types of container wax, you can also find other varieties made of materials like coconut, apricot, and more. Pillar wax is formulated for pillar candles, wax melts, tarts, votives, or anything structural that needs to hold its own shape. Pillar wax is a harder wax that's designed to pull away from a mold as it cools, allowing for easy release. Pillar waxes are made from various materials like paraffin, soy, and beeswax. Now that we've broken down the two main categories of wax, let's discuss the different wax varieties. Soy wax generally has a longer burn time, produces less black soot, and is often favored by makers who prefer a natural product. Its appearance is opaque, semi-matte, and creamy white. Soy candles can be known for their impressive cold throw, which can provide a light scent even when the candles are not lit. Something to note is that frosting is a common occurrence with soy wax candles. It also tends to form a bumpy, uneven top as it cools after being burned. However, these are more aesthetic concerns and will not affect the burn or quality of your candles. In fact, these things indicate that a candle or melt is made with pure soy wax. Paraffin is the most widely used candle wax on the market. While it's not considered to be a natural wax option, modern paraffin candle wax is highly refined and performs extremely well in candles and melts. Paraffin wax tends to have an excellent hot throw and smooth tops after cooling. If you'll be using dye, paraffin's colorless, translucent appearance produces rich and vibrant candles or melts using smaller amounts of dye. Most mass-market candles are made with paraffin wax, so consumers are often familiar with the way it burns. Paraffin container candles tend to leave a bit of wax on the sides of the jars after the first few burns, but this tends to melt away as the candle burns down further. While paraffin wax doesn't frost, it can shrink down after cooling and often leaves a divot around the wick. Many candle makers who use paraffin incorporate a second pour into their process to fill any sunken areas. As you've probably guessed, blended waxes offer the best of both worlds. Blended waxes are made of at least two different types of wax. There are many blends on the market, however, the specific formula or ratio of waxes used is usually proprietary to the manufacturer. You can always experiment with making your own blend, just be sure to test your wicks. Soy and paraffin blends are probably the most popular on the market, however, there are plenty other blended waxes to consider. Let's take a look at some specific applications and suggested waxes for them. Container candles. While all container waxes should have good adhesion properties, there are other factors and preferences to consider when choosing a wax for your needs. Wax source, appearance, maximum fragrance allowance, and melt point are all things to think about when selecting container wax. Pillar candles are self-supporting candles. They come in all shapes and sizes, can be scented or unscented, for decorative use only, or made to burn. They're typically wicked so that an unmelted shell of wax contains the melt pool as the pillar burns. Clamshells and snap bars hold segments of wax intended for wax warmers or melters, and high scent payoff is often the main goal. It's important to select a rigid wax that has a high maximum fragrance allowance for the best results. Pillar wax is the best choice here because it's a harder wax that is easily removed from the plastic shells. This also makes for easy cleanup of warmers or melters, as the wax typically pops right out when you're done with it. Some candle makers opt to use container wax for their clamshells or snap bars. While these wax melts may be more crumbly or difficult to remove from the package, many makers report that they're happy with the performance, and you can absolutely test this out for yourself. While tarts, wax melts, and embeds are similar to clamshells and snap bars, the main difference is that they aren't contained in packaging. So while you may find some container waxes that work in clamshells and snap bars, this category really needs a wax that supports and maintains its shape, so pillar wax is usually best. Some tarts, melts, and embeds are used mainly for decorative purposes, while others are intended for high fragrance payoff. Tarts and embeds are most often used for decoration or embellishment, so waxes that resist frosting are a huge plus. Selecting the right wax for your project can make a huge difference in the outcome. For more in-depth information about all of the waxes we carry, their properties, performance, and uses, check out our wax guide at CandleScience.com.